Hoot hoot.
Hoot hoot.
Hoot hoot.
Yo.
Oh, we got our bird costumes on. Get ready for this. Oh wait. We don't. Wait. We took it off. My bad.
Hey, yo. Yo, Pickle with the 2-month resub. Tagline with the 2-month resub. Starting off hot. Hey, appreciate you guys very much.
Shout out to Tagline.
Shout out to Tagline.
Yo, what a weekend. There's I actually was I don't even know what happened. Was there anything that happened over the weekend? It was just kind of non-eventful, right? Just another regular weekend for NFTs, nothing crazy.
Nothing too crazy. I mean, nothing out of the ordinary.
Right.
A couple white guys dropped an NFT. we bought all of it, and it kept mooning.
I mean, I think we could probably take credit because we had a pretty big FUD stream for FUD Friday, and then people just did the opposite of FUDding, so we take that. Actually, there's plenty of FUD all over. I don't know if you'd call it FUD. It's more cope over the weekend for people that missed out on Moonbirds. It was pretty fun to watch and pretty fun to follow. But yeah, for those that don't know, everyone, I mean, obviously it was a crazy weekend for Moonbirds. We're going to get into it. We're not going to go super in depth because we could probably use the whole stream to talk about Moonbirds, but we'll keep it tame. We're going to keep our hoots a little bit quiet. We don't want to disrupt too many people out there that aren't big fans of the Moonbirds. But we got more stuff to talk about. So, yo, Jeremy, how was your weekend?
Yeah, happy Easter weekend. It was pretty nice, pretty chill. Just a bunch of food, a bunch of little chores. Caught up on latest series or latest season of Bridgerton.
Oh, there you go.
Yes, sir.
With your sipping your pumpkin spice latte.
Yep, and tea.
Yeah, my wife binge watched that while I was gone because I'm not. It's not really my style of show, but hey. You and my wife would get along very well, I think. Y'all got a lot in common.
Think so.
All right, well, let's go. Yo, Jay Berm. Appreciate that resub.
He says, bro, this is like spending money on Top Shot. I know I shouldn't do it. You're right. Stop buying Top Shot.
Yeah.
Keep subbing.
We actually bring some good stuff, right? Top Shot's just usually all bad. But all right, let's jump into our usual starting segment. Let's talk about some market updates. So let's look at the good and glaring at you in the face, just flashing lights right there at the very top. Moonbirds. Obviously, their floor heading into the weekend was 0 because they weren't even minted yet on Friday. On Saturday, they minted for 2.5 ETH. And you got some for free because you're a proof holder, so proof holders got to mint too. And and they're up to they've been around 20 ETH for the last 12 hours, kind of hovering around there for a bit. And this volume, I mean, this 24-hour volume looks crazy, but let's look at this 7-day volume, which is actually just like 2.5 days. It's almost 70,000 ETH. Woo.
That's insane.
So that's insane. We're gonna get more into that a little bit later. So we'll try to look at other projects now. Cool Pets. They're making a move. They had some updates over the weekend. I think the game's running a little bit more smoothly. So people are, I guess, happier now. So the price goes up, right?
I would hope it runs more smoothly.
Yeah, I mean,
it's just some text on the screen.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of thinking like, we're going to talk more about Cooltopia as well, but it's not really like play to earn or play and earn. It's just click a button and earn. There's no playing. It's just. But I mean, that was in the beta. Like that wasn't like a shock to anybody. That's what they put out, and hopefully,
Click and earn.
Yeah. I do wonder if there is going to be more to the game. I'm assuming there is. I think there is going to be more to the game once the pets hatch, like what stuff you can actually do with them in the actual town and stuff. But good for them. We kind of I kind of tore into them quite a bit on Friday, so I'm gonna try to be nicer to cool cats and cool pets today. We're not going to start off and choose violence today. We're going to save that for Friday streams. Let's see what else. Do you see any projects on this top list that stick out to you?
None that. No, I don't think so. There's the Meebits floor, maybe. Up a little because that's 4 ETH, right? So it'll be up 10%. I mean, there's a little bit of movement there.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of Meebits, shout out. I mean, it's not really a shout out, but
No, not shout out.
not a shout out. But we had someone in our. I'm not gonna call them out. We had someone in our Discord that actually like lost a Meebit due to a scam website. So just, for anyone listening, if you're ever trying to trade an NFT, just stick to the big names for the trading websites like NFT Trader, SudoSwap. Don't use swaptic.io. It's a complete scam trade website, and again, don't click any of those links. But that happened to someone in our Discord over the weekend. So hate to see that, but yeah, Meebit's floor is up 10%. Anything else stick out to you here?
No, I don't believe so. But just to tag on to the end of that, I believe is if you go to Gem, which we've shown on stream before. And if you go to list it, you can list it across different marketplaces. It'll save you gas. And then also, if you trust and list on X2Y2, they don't have any marketplace fees. So it's just the collection fee. So if you're trying to save a little bit on fees like that, for a Meebit, whatever else, you can list it there via Gem. But yeah, just be careful out there and don't interact with the Swaptic website.
Yeah, you're still in one of my shoutouts for the end of the show. It's the X2Y2. It's the trade. I had it ready to go for the end, the last notes. But yeah, like you mentioned, like for the month of April, their whole thing is that there's no market fees for the seller. Obviously, there's going to be the fees for the project, but there's no open. Like the OpenSea usually takes 2.5%. Lookshare takes 2%. X2Y2 this month's taking 0%. So you definitely may be able to take advantage of that, especially if you're selling a high value asset. You can save a little bit and get a little bit more back. And also, if you're a buyer, they're refunding the gas. So, I like seeing these little promotions for the side marketplaces trying to compete with the bigger boys. It makes them relevant and it makes it useful, and it actually ends up helping us in the long run. Mm-hmm. All right, so let's go ahead and look at the flip of this. Let's look at the losers of the day, and there's, again, we try not to talk about too much like of the nothing projects, right? Like Galactic Apes, like it's enough. Like there's a lot of projects up here that just we're never gonna touch it, right? And I don't really see. I mean, I guess Quirkies looks like they're down quite a bit. They're down 20%, 2.1. I think they got a pretty big pump recently. So they're back down. Alien Friends are down. We're seeing a lot of these down. Nuclear Nerds are down. I think a lot of it just kind of branches out to a lot of the liquidity in the marketplace is going to, right now it's going on Moonbirds, right? People trying to trade it for Moonbirds, and it's not really going anywhere else. So that's probably why you're going to see a lot of these projects could be down in the red.
Yeah. Hey, on the flip side of that, I forgot to see if were ducks up there on the green side.
Which ducks?
Ducks. I don't see them.
The rubber.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Which ducks?
Rubber ducks. Yeah, rubber ducks.
They may not actually be on Flipstop Finance. I know. I've noticed that some projects, like some of the smaller ones, aren't on Flips.
Yeah.
So they may not be. They may not be on here. I think I can look from up here and see.
Yo, GM Harry. What's up, my guy?
Rubber Duck Bath Party? Is that a different one? There's a lot of ducks out there.
I don't own any, but I think it's just called Rubber Ducks on OpenSea. But
okay.
Anyways, those been popping off lately. Those went from I don't even know. I forgot what the floor was before, but then I would think it went over to 0.9.
Toasty's got a good shout out here. Ducks are up. I guess they're not on flips, but 10K TF is up huge. And they're not on flips as well, because they're not really like a profile picture. I think flips kind of specializes in more of the profile picture stuff. So they're not on there. But 10K TF, the funny fact about 10K TF, and TrueCon pointed this out. He actually sent a tweet about it over the weekend. The Oni floor.
Yeah,
for the 10K TF pieces for the Oni floor is higher than the actual Oni floor, which is actually hilarious.
Yeah, it is. That feels bad.
that feels real bad. All right. Well, before we move on, anything sticks out to you on the red or the green? Just general market movements?
No, I mean, without getting too much into Moonbirds in the collateral effects that are kind of being felt across the market. Not really. All these projects are kind of
Yeah. Yep. Just kind of If we look at kind of the top projects over the last 24 hours, I mean, obviously Moonbird is there, but everything else, hasn't affected it too much. Like everything, like nothing's dumped crazy, nothing's gone up crazy. Like everything else is just, it's just hanging out there, right? Nothing. People kept, and we're gonna talk about this later, but people kept saying like, oh, they're sucking out this liquidity. It's gonna make everything go crazy down. Like we haven't seen that yet, but we'll talk about that more later. All right, so we can move on to some news over the weekend. We had, Cool Cats. Yesterday they had planned maintenance. They were down for a couple hours. They tweaked some things. They fixed some of the quest and some of the quest features. They tried to fix some of the errors that were happening. And from the feedback I've seen, has been positive. I don't know. Have you heard anything much about this after the update?
No, to be honest, I just kind of hate the cats at the moment. I even sold my cat. I sold my cat.
Oh, you sold your cat over the weekend?
Yeah, I just sold my cat. I was like, nah, I'm out, bro.
Man, I'm almost there because
I don't even care.
I mean, I kept hearing the positive stuff, and I go onto it, and it's still not really working too well for me. I can see how long it's going to take. We can have it on the screen while we talk about it here.
I think the people who hold super long term are going to be rewarded, a little bit more. Not from the team, just in terms of floor price and whatnot, ROI. But there's just so much more you can do with that ETH, like right now and then in the next month, versus just holding a cool cat. And so am I emotionally attached to cool cats? Nah. So I'm out. Peace.
Yeah, I think I'm there. Like I'll probably hold one out of mine, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't looking for a good exit point right now for most of my cats and pets. So yeah, I mean, for the people that hold them and believe in them, GG's to them for holding. Hey, if it's something you believe in and something you're invested in, that you're actually like excited about, then hey, that's cool. There's different strokes for different folks, right? And
this is why I'm also glad I don't have kids, because I think people who have got their kids emotionally attached to the cats, to the cool cats, because kids love cool cats.
Yeah,
families love cool cats, and then you have to tell them like, hey, I sold Blue. I sold Cool Cat.
Yeah,
yo,
right?
You're the worst dad ever now.
I mean, since we've been talking, I mean, this has still been my experience. Like these quests are still taking, for just clicking a button. Like we're not even playing a game. We're just clicking a button. It's still taking way too long, right? Like this is supposedly fixed. So I don't know, but yeah, they've got. It looks like they are going to be looking into milk cost rebalancing across Cooltopia, especially with like the reroll cost on quests. I think they hired some like blockchain, like tokenomics expert, and I think they should get a refund, or they probably didn't pay too much for it based off of how it's gone so far. So we'll kind of see, we'll kind of see how that goes. But yeah, I mean, like that. This is kind of not. This is still been my experience. Like even though it's fixed, I've heard people saying on Twitter like, "Oh, it's just so much better now. I can just knock all these out." This is still my experience. Like it's still not working. We can see this live on this. This isn't recorded. Like this is how long it takes to complete one quest for me. Like it's not. People, I keep seeing people say that people are having fun with it now. Like this isn't fun, right?
No.
But I need to stop. This isn't Fun Friday. I said I didn't choose violence today, but I guess waiting for this quest to complete has me just like, all right, it's not fixed, even though they said it's fixed. But any final thoughts about Cooltopia, chat? Or have you guys been playing this? Do you think it's fun? I'm curious to see if there's any other thoughts on this, because it sounds like me and Jeremy agree, and I want to hear someone that maybe is on the other side of the fence.
I saved the comment here from Toasty. He said, what they've done honestly is impressive if they can smooth it out. Signing on an L1 and having all the transactions go through L2 is something that I don't really think has been done before. Now, I haven't looked into it too much, and I've seen people bring up this discussion topic a lot of times, but I haven't validated, I haven't fact-checked, because I've seen the Twitter threads, and people are like saying they're not the first ones. Actually, it's not even real. Like that's not what they're doing. That's what they presented it as. And so like I need to like tech deep dive into that, so that way I can get the facts straight too.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. I mean, looks like TrueCon says, you got to do all this stuff. You basically have to jump through all these hoops to make sure it works. And if it doesn't, then just burn the cool cat. And yeah, he's probably right on the last part. So maybe after stream I'll I'll do all that. I'll close down. I'll clear the cache and cookies, restart, and see if that helps. And then maybe I'll have fun doing it and not take up all my time and be frustrated. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it works. Maybe I'll update it later. But all right. So moving on, we had this new scam come out over the weekend. And it kind of was, I guess it was a surprise to me, because the big news was that iCloud actually store, like if you have the MetaMask app and you back up everything to the iCloud, the MetaMask app actually stores your keys, your personal keys to your addresses, to your ETH addresses that you have on MetaMask into the cloud, which I think is kind of crazy. Like I didn't realize that. I don't think a lot of people realize that. Did you know that was a thing?
No, but I thought I saw that it was somewhere, like if it was saved in plain text or something. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how it's saved or anything, but I did see that one person did get wiped out because they basically, they fell for an Apple scam, right? Like they had, quote, Apple support reach out to them. They reset their password, asked for the code. The person sent them the code. Then they had access to their iCloud. Then they were able to access their iCloud to their MetaMask backup, and then they were able to wipe out their assets. Obviously, this wouldn't really affect you if you had everything on a ledger that's not hooked up to your MetaMask on your phone. This is basically probably the hottest of your hot wallets that are on your phone MetaMask, right? But people still keep a lot of valuables on there, or a lot of liquid ETH ready to go. And for this person, they got wiped out of quite a bit of stuff, and just because they got hacked from iCloud, it wasn't even just like a really crypto hack, but it kind of targeted them because they were involved in crypto, but it targeted iCloud.
It was kind of two things here. So one, he fished the iCloud credentials, and then two, kind of brute forced the password to MetaMask because MetaMask was restored on the device. Okay,
gotcha. That makes sense.
Yeah, still.
Yeah, so if you have iOS, if you have iPhone, I know I did this yesterday. I can share this link in the chat from MetaMask, but these are kind of the directions. Follow these directions. You can go through this. Make sure you can manage your backups and just turn off MetaMask. And then Toasty had a good shout out in the Discord earlier. Like once you do that, basically redo your backup so it saves it so it basically deletes it. Because if you just turn it off and you don't redo the backup, it's like the most recent backup is still going to have your MetaMask information on there. So if you have iOS, iPhone, I think this is a good shout out. I think some people may have missed this. So if you did, it's kind of a good thing to maybe get taken care of just in case, because we all like to think that we can never get scammed. It's not going to happen to us. It always happens to someone else. But things happen. We can be vulnerable. Some things, it's just stuff happens. It's good to be safe, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's so much, and maybe we bring on some like huge security expert in this. But it's just a balance. It's like, how much risk do you want to take? And in terms of, and what I'm saying is like, what all devices do you have your wallet on? What do you do on those devices? What other applications do you have installed on those? Which Wi-Fi's do you connect to? Do you bring your wallet with you, your hardware wallet, when you travel? This and that. And there's just so much to it. I don't think there's like one right answer. There's like a safest answer, but it really doesn't work for everybody. But I think you definitely do need to have like a security strategy that you're comfortable with, and that not only you're comfortable with, like you have a backup plan too, and then you occasionally test that backup plan as well.
Yeah. Do you just like a personal question, do you have MetaMask on your phone? Because I think you're iOS, right, as well?
Yeah, I do, but recently I've been thinking of taking it off. I've been thinking about, because the MacBook Airs are so cheap, what I've been thinking about is literally just getting one MacBook Air to do my, like, to handle all my wallet stuff. And that's it. Like no other computer, no other device. Like that's the device.
Yeah, I've heard people do that as well. They have like just one laptop only for their crypto wallets, and I think that's a good like a good thing to follow. And I thought about doing that as well. I actually have an old MacBook that I an old work laptop that I had for a while ago. It's just an old MacBook Pro, and I haven't used it. It's just sitting there. I mean, I've kind of thought about just completely restoring it and just starting it brand new with that. But I'm not technical, so I don't know if there's any, like, if it's an old laptop, if there's any risks of it being old. But I don't know if restoring it completely fixes it or gets rid of it. I don't know. So maybe it's better to start fresh with a new laptop out of the box.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, you can get these things for like $900.
Yeah.
And compared to the asset value that
that's
you're
like
keeping
0.2.
safe, that compared to the asset value you're keeping safe, I mean, that's an incredibly cheap price to pay.
That's true. Yeah, that's absolutely true. All right, so I guess enough time has passed. We could probably talk about the elephant in the room. What happened? Actually, Jeremy, I want you to break down what happened over the weekend. Oh, we're dark mode now. What happened over the weekend, mainly with the Moonbirds. And I know that this is something that you've been following for a while because you've been in Proof since December. You bought a Proof Pass at 1.6 ETH, and now they're at 100 ETH, which is absolutely insane.
Yeah, 4 months, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, that's quicker than Bored Apes did it, right? So I know you're feeling pretty good, but I want you to tell the chat what happened with Moonbirds over the weekend. And I want you to give us the bullish case, because on Friday you were kind of giving us, on FUD Friday you were kind of giving us like the fudding part of it, talking bad about some of the things. But I want you to own up to it. These are your assets. We all know you own it, but I want you to give us the bull case for Moonbirds.
Okay. So first of all, we'll just start from the beginning.
Yeah.
So Moonbirds, what is it? If in case anybody's new to the stream, anybody new to NFTs, whatever, Moonbirds is a PFP collection that came out of the parent project called Proof Collective. Proof Collective is a 1,000-member pass that minted out at Dutch auction all the way at 1 ETH back in middle of December. And that is a kind of a collective of what I call like these like high tier collectors and NFT artists. And the only reason, and I'm not saying that they all have a huge bankroll, it's just that they have like this high tier taste, right? They're not going to go out and mint your typical degen projects. They're trying to go out for like curated art blocks level artists or higher, and NFT photographers and stuff like that. So, but you can't use a pass to be your PFP, right? It just doesn't work. So what they needed to do, and what their plan was all along, after they facilitated this communication and this community and this back and forth, and is an identity. So what could they use as an identity? And they did some talking, they did some discussion, and they said, hey, owls are perfect. We'll call them Moonbirds, all of their qualities, whatnot. And I don't know the decision to make them pixel. I don't know. Maybe that's just an homage to punks. I'm not sure. But they decided to release Moonbirds, which is a 10,000 PFP or pixel PFP called Moonbirds, and that's stakeable, but it's not stakeable in your standard way. It's going to be a non-custodial staking. So that means you keep them in your wallet, and you're going to accrue you're going to accrue status, which they call nesting, right? So when you nest your Moonbird, and when you unnest, you kind of lose all of that. But when you nest your Moonbird, you're going to kind of like progress in your XP and progress in level, and then your nest kind of evolves. And as your nest evolves into new tiers, you unlock new rewards along the way, or new eligibility along the way. So that minted out they were going to do a Dutch auction, 2.5 to 0.1 ETH. The demand got so high that they decided to cancel the Dutch auction and do a raffle via pre-mint.
There's those quotes.
Yeah, and to do a flat rate of 2.5 ETH across the board. Now remember, Proof members get 2 Moonbirds to claim for free. So if there's 1,000 Proof members, that's 2,000 Moonbirds gone. So there was roughly a little less than 8,000 Moonbirds available to the public via raffle. So they raised about 60 million, because that all minted out. They raised about 60 million there. And then we proceeded to see one of the craziest like weekends in NFT history, to be honest, because
it's unprecedented what we saw.
Unprecedented, because that's almost 70,000 ETH traded in secondary volume, I think, on OpenSea alone. So I don't know if you've ever really seen that before in less than that 48 hours. But the floor price now is 20.2. So it's I thought, Moonbirds were going to be between like 5 or 6 ETH within maybe the first week and hold there and then steadily go up. But what were they at the first day? Like 13 ETH after the first day? And then now they reached 22 the second day?
Yeah, the first day they were like, I remember sitting there Saturday night looking at listings like 12, 13, 14. They got up to like 15, 16, then got back down at 12. And I mean, I was planning on buying in, but I was just like, there's no way it keeps going up. It's got to drop. It's got to drop. Well, guess what? It never dropped. Or every time it did drop, it stayed there for like 5 minutes and then it got bought up and then it kept going up. So it's literally just up only. And now it's, I think yesterday they got to like 22 ETH. I think right now they're sitting around, I can check it. We'll get a live update right now at the floor. Looks like the cheapest one is currently 19.5. On OpenSea, it's 20 ETH. So
36 listings across all platforms for it to get to 22 again. But that was their all-time high, I think, roughly 22 point something.
Yeah, and also I just kind of want to give I guess a plug and maybe some, I guess not really alpha, it's just a tool. I talked about this before, but I mean, I was using Gem. Jerry mentioned it earlier. I was using Gem this whole time watching the listings, because if you notice here, the cheapest one in OpenSea is 20 ETH. But you can go on X2Y2 and buy it for 19.5. And this was the whole weekend I was watching this, and there's always listings cheaper than OpenSea, because I think 90% of people and NFTs just use OpenSea purely. So if you are looking to buy into a project, I definitely recommend using Gem, because it's free to use and it shows listings across all of them. And what's funny is it actually updates quicker. I don't know how, but it updates quicker than the actual like marketplace websites. Like something will sell and it'll disappear from Gem, but it'll still be on OpenSea or it'll still be on LooksRare. Like it still shows there even though it's already sold. So I don't know how, but Gem, I guess, updates it from the blockchain quicker than the actual marketplaces do themselves. So if you're looking for a project, definitely check out Gem first, because you may be able to get it cheaper somewhere other than OpenSea. So I just want to get that quick shout out. But yeah, they've been hovering around there for a little bit.
Can you go back to this analytics tab on the top right?
Sure.
And then go to leaderboard on the and then all the way to the bottom. Top profits and losses here, bro. Somebody has made 635 ETH off of trading Moonbirds. I mean, that's pre-tax, but still 635 ETH.
45 trades. That's crazy. That's a good weekend for somebody. I think they'll do just fine.
Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, there's nothing to write home about, but GG's.
I mean, look at these, like one transaction, like 135. Like these people just sold one rare one for a crazy amount. But yeah, we see a lot of that. So I didn't even notice that was an analytics tab that saw that. So that's kind of fun. That's kind of cool to look at. I think this is actually TrueCon's address right here.
TrueCon, yep. And this is all done, by the way, for people who don't know, is Dune Analytics or Dune XYZ or something like that. But if you guys come from a business analytics background, or maybe like to do some queries, maybe you're like an Excel master, whatever, that's Dune.xyz, Dune Analytics. It's a free to use platform. And they do have a pro version, but that pro version is just for power users. Like most of us are going to be casual users. That's all you need. But all that is available to you. So like you can build dashboards like that for you and yourself. You can use this to help you out with your just tax prep, know how much you got to set to the side, blah, blah, blah. So that's Dune XYZ if you want to check it out.
All right, so while we're talking about Moonbird still, I want to play a little game. All right, this is going to be one of our segments. It's going to be a mid-show segment, and basically how this is going to work out, it's a game for you and a game for the chat. And I'm going to say two projects. Well, I'm going to say one project going to be Moonbirds. I'm going to say one other project. And then you have to tell me which project has a higher lifetime sales volume. So basically this is Moonbirds in their 2.5 days versus a project's lifetime as an NFT project, and who has the higher sales volume across that history, right? Whether it be 6 months or is it the Moonbird 2 days? So we're gonna let's start off a little bit. Let's see. Let's start off with CyberKongs, and this is going to include all the CyberKongs, so they're in the same collection. So this is CyberKong Genesis, the babies. This is actually just the CyberKong Genesis and the babies.
I'm saying CyberKongs because I can't remember. I thought I looked at this the other day, but it was like before the second date, so I don't know. But I'm gonna say Cyberkongs, maybe.
You say Cyberkongs? Okay. Chat. Anyone in the chat have any guesses between those two? Cyberkongs, the Genesis, and the babies versus the Moonbirds. Who's got the higher sales volume?
No, they're taking too long though.
Yeah,
they're looking it up. They got to be quick with it.
That's true. Yeah. All right. It is the Moonbirds, but it's not even close. I don't want to say the total number yet for the Moonbirds because I don't want to ruin anything else. But yeah, so Moonbirds wins that one. So let's say Moonbirds or Meebits.
Wait, Meebits just because of the wash trading.
Ooh, almost got you there. It is Meebits are still higher than the Moonbirds, and I think it is because of all the wash trading.
Let's go.
So, I think you take that wash trading away, and then absolutely it's Moonbirds. But I think the wash trading puts it away. But all right, here's one close to home: Moonbirds or Cool Cats.
Birds.
Okay. I'm just waiting for a little bit from the chat. Let's see. Rova says birds. And Totally says cats, and it's still the Cool Cats, barely. I will say they're on their tail. it's. I mean, not too close, but it's a little bit closer than others. So yeah, Cool Cat's still up there. Now, what about the Bored Ape Kennel Club or Moonbirds?
Birds. Gotta be birds.
Gotta be birds. Bored Ape Kennel Club were popular wash traders on LooksRare too.
Why do we even have Kennel Club, dude? To be honest,
What has the Kennel Club even done?
It's like a Christmas tree ornament, bro.
Yeah, so it is the Moonbirds. Moonbirds have more sales volume than the Kennel Club, even including the wash trading on LooksRare from the Kennel Club.
Let's go, yo, Jeremy, 3-1.
All right, World of Women.
Ooh, that one's tough.
World of Women or Moonbirds?
Birds.
Birds. Ooh. Wow. Everyone says, yeah, it is birds. They actually passed them last night. I thought that was the craziest one. That Moonbirds have more sales volume than World of Women in that time frame. Yeah, no. I already told him last night in the Discord. I think he's recovered by now, hopefully, but who knows? All right. What about Doodles? Doodles or Moonbirds? We just got a couple more of these left.
Ah, man, this one's tricky. I'd say Doodles, but it's crazy that they flipped Doodles already in terms of floor price. But I think Doodles have more volume.
Yeah, it is. We got QDog says the Doodles. TrueCon says the Birds. So it is still the Doodles. So yeah, Doodles still have the higher sales volume. And then the last one.
Bro, I'm killing it.
We'll do these two together because these are basically so Azuki and Clone X are basically right neck and neck. So do you think Moonbirds is more than them or less than them right now?
Less. I think it's cool. I'm getting flipping the floor, but I think they both have more volume.
Yeah. Moonbirds has a little bit less, but I mean, I think I can share this right here, but it's crazy. In 2 days, Moonbirds is 15th all time. This is all time for NFTs.
That's nuts.
Look at all these ones that are below them. Cryptodes. We already talked about World of Women, Cyberkongs.
Axie Infinity. We're coming for you.
They're coming up on Cool Cats. They're coming up.
Wait. TrueCon is terrible at this, bro. He got 2 right.
Listen, we don't like TrueCon for his brains. I'll just say that. It's definitely for his mansions.
TrueCon's faded. Yo, I went 7-1 or 6-2 on that thing.
Yeah, I think it's crazy how many projects they're about to they just flipped. They just passed. Let me see. They're about to pass So Rare, which has been around for a while. They passed, I think. Yeah, it's crazy. And another thing I was looking at, if you look at the last 30 days, look at the Moonbird. This is the last 2 days, right? Mm-hmm. 280 million. Look at the Solana blockchain for the whole for this last 30 days.
Yo, rip.
Like Moonbirds has done more volume than the entire Solana NFT blockchain in that time frame, which is, whew. But hey, Sol NFTs.
Yeah. That I mean, this is unprecedented, right? Like, I wish there was a graph where somebody could tweet it, whatever. Like, I want to look at the first 48-hour volume of an NFT project in the last year. And I know, again, like it's almost as fast as the NFT scene moves. Like, it's almost comparing different eras, but at the same time, we're less than a year old from when Bored Apes launched. Still less than a year old. Now, I do think they have an advantage because we're a year later, but it's only a year later, and I don't think that explains the entire gap. I don't think that you can explain it that way. Like, hey, there's more people, there's more wallets, there's more money, because no other project has been able to come close to doing that in the last 6 months.
I can't think, like, I'm just trying to think off the top of my head of a project that has had this amount. I mean, obviously no project ever had this amount of volume in 24 hours. But I'm just trying to think of it, like, projects that are, not even come close, but just like the top ones. And my mind's blank right now. I can't think of what.
Mecca and Hype Beast.
Yeah, those worked out well. Hey, we're in good company. The pre-reveal,
first 3 days, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and these are all. And what's crazy at Moonbirds, there was no reveal. It was you minted them and they were already revealed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which
there was some good sniping opportunities. There was like a cosmic that got sold for 10 ETH.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw someone bought one for 30 ETH and then 10 minutes later sold it for 90 ETH. Like,
and that was an offer.
What a flip! Yeah, that was. Yeah, I mean. I was kind of upset because I spent all Saturday. We were out running errands and stuff around town, so I didn't even have time to take a look at trying to snipe rares or anything. So I didn't have time until by the time I got home, it was already like 10, 12 ETH floor. But yeah, definitely a good opportunity if people were able to snipe that. And looks like that person, some of those people on the leaderboards, I bet they were the ones taking advantage of it quite a bit.
Yeah.
I wanted to also, so we've also have this funny thing. Let's see. So we had the Nate Rivers saga happen over the weekend as well on Saturday. So everyone who knows Nate Rivers, he's very opinionated, and his opinion changes whenever the wind blows, pretty much. He's one of these, cyber Kongs influencers that's kind of, he's just been in the Kongs community forever, and he's got a lot of followers, people trust him. He's actually a pretty good trader, right? Like, no disrespect to him. He's a really good trader. He definitely knows his stuff. But he is very outspoken, and sometimes it bites you in the butt. And this time, it didn't look great for him, because on Saturday, whenever Moonbirds were first flying, he's basically talking, kind of like talking bad about them, like where's the hype? What is this? He's basically comparing these to imaginary friend community, to the Hapes, to the Adventure Pals, to all this stuff, and then he's like, basically saying this isn't a lasting community, right? And he doesn't want to be a part of it. And then, like 2 or 3 hours later, he buys 4 Moonbirds, right? So who'd have guessed it? And he kind of knew, I think deep down he knew he was probably going to do it, but so he FOMO'd in, but then he started pumping them, always comfy holding blue chips, getting all into it. Then the very last part of the saga, can we guess what's going to happen next?
Sold.
Yeah, this man sold them. He sold all 4. So,
I will likely rue ever selling these, but money is money. Yo, if that tells you what he thinks, he probably thinks about his followers too, right? Hey, money's money.
Hey, money's money. Followers are every follower is a dollar sign, right? But it's just it's funny watching. This isn't the only case. We saw this happen all the time. We saw it happen, especially on Saturday. People started talking bad about Moonbirds, thinking like, "Oh, what have they done? Why are they pumping so hard?" Then the press gets going higher and higher, like, "Oh," and then they start talking themselves into it, like, you know what? Maybe there's something there, and they buy into it, and then they're all on board, like they never talked bad about it in the first place. It's kind of funny to watch.
Yeah, the thing is here, like, if I were to ever be like that big, that's why I wouldn't really, unless I truly feel like I hate the Moonbirds, they can die, whatever, and I'm literally not buying, then I'll go ahead and tweet that first one out. Yeah. But if I know that there is a chance, like I don't know much about them, I don't know what they're gonna do, like I don't have a feeling of how they're gonna come out on the market, and there's a chance that I buy one, no shot. I'm like tweeting out to thousands of people that these are the stupidest things ever, and you should stay away.
Yeah. And J-Bear was right. He at least he does say everything up front, right? He doesn't hide it. So, and he owns it. So I mean, like I don't think this is like I don't think this is really like bad.
But
or,
does
like,
he though?
It's disgusting. But
does he say everything up front? Because that's like you're assuming like he's telling the truth. Because he could say what if he was being up front, but maybe his motive was like, hey, I'm gonna FUD them. I'm gonna buy myself some time to go and do some sniping, some picking up, and then I'm gonna post it on Twitter. Then that's not being up front anymore, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's true. Maybe that I mean this could have been his strategy the whole time. Is like, hey, tomorrow I'm gonna go in FUDding them, then I'm gonna buy them, then I'm gonna pump them up, and then I'm gonna sell them, right? Yeah. And he wasn't upfront about that part, and yeah.
So you're just true. Like it, but I mean, yeah. If you're assuming that he's telling the truth, then sure, like he's being upfront.
Well, everyone tells the truth online. It's like it's a fact, right? Mm-hmm. 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 All right, so any final out of pocket any final thoughts about Moonbirds in general? I mean, like we said, it's a crazy weekend. We're still going to keep following it. Our price prediction, everyone's price prediction was completely obliterated. I think everyone kind of voted on like 4 to 6 ETH range. It's at 20 maybe. I think that price prediction was for a week from Friday, so maybe Friday they are back down to 6 ETH, and hey, who knows, anything could happen. But I'll be I feel like there's a lot of people waiting on the sidelines right now, waiting for dips, and so I don't think I feel like if there are dips, they're not going to last too long, right? I think they're probably here to stay in this 18 to 22 range for the time being.
If people have a Moonbird from mint because of a raffle, like I don't think you can ever blame yourself for selling at these levels. By the way, like take the bag. You gotta lock in profits. If this is like your first big mint, right, and this is just a huge W for you, I think you got to do it into this volume, right? Because this volume is insane. And I don't know if it's sustainable, but I don't know if it has to be sustainable, right? The volume doesn't have to be sustainable at that level, but it does have to be. We can't go a day without selling, or only selling 5 Moonbirds or something, right? It has to be more than that. It doesn't have to be at these ridiculous levels.
Yeah, I think the interesting case with Moonbirds is that they have this nesting mechanic literally right around the corner, so which is basically going to incentivize people to not sell or to hold. So I think that's, if the volume does go down and there's not as many sales, I don't think we're going to see as many listings as we would for a normal project where there's nothing right around the corner that's going to happen, right? So I think that's going to be the interesting part to follow on my end. Sten, yes, I did bite the bullet, and I did buy one yesterday.
he bit a fat bullet.
I bit a fat bullet, and I bought one yesterday because I didn't buy a full one. I went for the Grail trait. So it's got like the trophy above its head, because the speculation from the Moonbirds is like they've said that the nesting mechanics, depending on what trait you have, you're going to get different benefits for whatever trait you have. So they've already said like, hey, if you get a hoodie, you get a special hoodie. So that's going to be an expensive hoodie you have. So GG's toasty, that better be a really comfy hoodie. So my speculation in buying the Grail, and full disclosure, I bought this Grail Moonbird at like 24 ETH, right? And my speculation was that they have this Grails 2 coming, and I hope that this Grail Moonbird has some kind of advantage whenever that comes. I don't know what it's going to be, but it's purely a speculative play.
Yeah. I mean, Pickle says if it goes down to 6 ETH, is it not exactly like Mechas? I don't know. I'd have to do the math on that, because I don't know the top that Mechaverse reached. But that would have to be a pretty far drop for Moonbirds to come out. I mean,
yeah. But the difference is, the thing about mechas is, once they revealed, that's when people realize how bad it was, right?
Yeah, at least we knew up front how bad Moonbirds is.
Yeah, Moonbirds. they revealed right away. You know what you're getting, right? And no one's buying Moonbirds for the art, right?
Yeah, but the other thing is that it's a Doc's team as well, and that doesn't instantly make it better, but that's a difference, right? Like they now have a huge, not incentive, but like huge motivation and like a fire under their butts to do something with the project, because they can't just rug it like Mechaverse did.
Yeah. Do you think anything was Googled more on Saturday than who is Kevin Rose?
Justin Rose?
Yeah, Justin Rose according to NFT Ethics, but yeah, Kevin Rose, because I feel like Kevin Rose, no one knows really who he was until like this weekend, and then now everyone's like, I'm so bullish on Kevin Rose, man. I know a lot of people, obviously you knew who he was because you've been in proof, but people on the outside looking in, like they just, I think the talking point was like, oh, I'm so bullish on Kevin Rose. You know, this guy's going to build, and I feel like a lot of people didn't even know who he was going into the weekend, and then I'd be curious to see how many people actually Googled, hey, who is this guy?
One of the interesting things, I think that was heavily Googled for sure. But I think we still live on our own little world, like our own little corner of the world, and there's, I don't know, not a single person, even in RL, who kind of knows about NFTs, besides actually No Fear in the chat and his bro. He had No Fear got an allow list he was able to mint. But outside of that, like nobody even mentioned Moonbirds, and they had no idea what was going on. So it didn't make too much news. But if you had a decent active Twitter account, you probably saw 2.5 ETH or Moonbirds at one point. But one of the interesting things is in the proof Discord for Moonbirds, I don't type too much, I don't interact too much in there, but sometimes I see people come in, they're like, just bought, so what is this? Just bought, so what's Moonbirds? And so they're like, that's the kind of money that's coming in, is like these people are buying at 18, 20 ETH, and then they're like, okay, so what's this project?
Let me tell you, I spent like probably 15 minutes in the Moonbirds Discord, in the Proof Discord earlier, watching Moonbirds chat, watching some of the things. In that time frame, I put this in the Discord earlier. In that time frame, I think I saw 2 people get scammed. Like they lost their Moonbird because they went to they fall. We've all seen the links that we get tagged in, right? And they go to the link thinking it's like a Moonbird's coin or a free claim. They lost a Moonbird, and then I also saw people just post screenshots of these like fake stuff saying, "Hey, is this real?" Like, no, it's obviously it's not real, but it's like, man, I feel like the apes are going to be pretty relieved, because it looks like the scammers are going to be targeting the Moonbirds community pretty heavily right now, because they're not used to maybe some of this, and I think some of the scammers are going to get creative, and I also kind of want to. I guess if there's any FUD, I kind of want to low-key FUD the Moonbirds team for not securing, so
Instagram.
Their Twitter handle is Moonbirds_XYZ, and they didn't secure that on Instagram, so someone on Instagram created a Moonbirds_XYZ Instagram handle, and they're using that to scam people, right? By doing these scam coin posts, and I think that's kind of a pretty big undersight by the Moonbirds team. I wish they would have taken care of that. Maybe they can work with Instagram now that they're verified on Twitter. Maybe they can work with IG to work out something where they can get that back or get that taken down. But yeah, I think that was a little bit of an undersight, and it kind of put their community at risk.
Yeah. I mean, it's a bit of an oversight for as much planning as they did to go into this. But I think there's a chance that they can get that back. Obviously with the whatever. I think they can get it back and get that all reset. But if you are interacting with the Moonbirds Instagram account, that is fake. It is not real. Do not claim any tokens that they're airdropping you today, whatever. Or claim tokens. Don't interact with the airdrop tokens. Don't do anything like that. Keep your Moonbirds safe. Hide your birds, hide your wives. One thing is, there's this Twitter. There's this tweet. This is from a guy. He says, "Sitting on a Moonbird at 20 ETH has given me an all new respect for those apes who held until 100." And I'm just here thinking to myself, like, bro, try doing it for a year, because that's how long, or it took about what, 10 months, I guess, for our first 100.
Yeah.
But 10 months, like it took us 10 months to hold for 100.
And it wasn't a straight up, right?
Nah.
We get to 60, back down to 30, right? It wasn't like a cozy, like this is going up only, man. It's a long 10 months of just lots of ups and downs, lots of people flooding it, lots of people saying it's going to go to zero, it's going to dump, it can't go up from here. Like it's a long time.
Yeah, now this guy's saying he has respect because he's holding a Moonbird at 20. I'm just in my head, I'm thinking like, bro, you don't even know. Like,
it's been 2 days, my man. Like
it's been 2 days, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy. I actually, Q-Dog, I didn't see that. I didn't see that from Twitter. So, do you have a link to that, or Jeremy, did you see that? What Q-Dog's talking about here? I guess there's new reporting features.
Really, I think it just depends what platform you're on. Because I've noticed on mobile reporting, the UI is a little bit different. The process and the fields and even the options that you get to select if you report on mobile versus on desktop is different. So. I don't know if he's talking about that or if it's literally a new feature that just got released like yesterday. But
gotcha. Yeah. I hopefully, because I feel like Twitter, I feel like people are pretty mad at Twitter right now because there's so many verified accounts that are just trying to scam people, and it's like it should be an issue that they should be able to fix pretty easily, right? But so hopefully they take it seriously and do something. But all right, so we can move on from Moonbirds. Do you have any final thoughts on Moonbirds before we move on?
Oh, hoodie gang.
Hoot.
Except I'm not actually in it, but I wore this hoodie because like it looks like the Moonbird's hoodie.
Were you covering up the Cool Man's logo? Just like you're kind of ashamed of owning the Cool Man's now, and they're not doing so
I don't
well?
own any. I sold them last night. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't. But no, I don't have any other thoughts. Okay. I mean, I'd love to talk about it with people in the Discord and whatnot, but I don't want to take up the stream talking about only Moonbirds. Yeah. So.
Well, we can talk. Yeah, we could have done this whole stream off of Moonbirds, but that's not fun for anybody except for maybe you and I and Toasty and whoever else is holding them. But
and then Proof hit 100 ETH4 though. By the way, like you mentioned in the beginning, but Proof, like try holding that. That was 4 months and hit 100 ETH4. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty nutty. My wife, she was actually going to bed last night, and I was here playing COD with the boys. And she walked back into my room and she's like, Proof just sold 99.99 ETH. And I was like, 100 floor, huh? She's like, yeah, it's crazy. I was like, okay. And back to playing COD.
Oh, that's funny. Well, I guess we can kind of like keep talking a little bit about this, but in a different way, because I kept hearing heading into the mint, we kept hearing the argument, Proof is taking 60 million out of the ecosystem. This is bad. This is terrible. And this is like an argument that we've kept hearing since August, right? Or since basically anytime someone has a high mint price, we always hear this like X is taking X amount out of the ecosystem. This is bad. And I kind of want to talk about it. Like, is it? I mean, obviously, it's not great. I don't want that happening all the time. But is it as bad as people make it seem that to be? And I kind of wanted to talk about that. And I want to get your thoughts on it.
I mean, it's just so case by case scenario, because let's say even a rug, like let's say a rug pulls or makes 500 ETH, and then they go and liquidate that. If the buyers of that, even if it's 50-50, like that's 250 that they plan to go and reinvest back into NFTs. They're buying that same ETH that just got sold to put back into NFTs. Now, a large percentage of that is going into like altcoins and just other ERC20s, whatnot. But no, I don't think it's as big of a deal as it is. The ones that do suck it out of the market are the ones who will make that ETH and then just let that wallet sit, right? Like they don't plan to do anything with it. They don't plan to sell it. They don't plan to use it, reinvest it. If it's just sitting in a wallet, then that's the only case that it gets pulled out.
Yeah, I guess my issue would be is if these projects do this big sale and they immediately cash out on on an exchange to USD, right? So I feel like some of these big projects that actually have a team like Proof, I feel like they're actually going to use that money like to somehow filter back into the ecosystem, but obviously it's not going to be directly into secondary markets like we normally see ETH, but it'll at least have some benefits long term in what they're going to build, what they're going to bring to their community. So I don't think it's as bad, but we've been hearing this argument all the time, and like we looked at the market earlier as well, and it just didn't affect anything. Like if anything, it really affects the mid to low tier projects, right? like the Cool Mans, like the Robotos, like these projects in that 0 to 5 ETH range. Like it's going to affect those, but more than the bigger projects. I feel like the big projects, like they're pretty safe from this. Like us saying as Bored Ape owners, Proof taking out 60 million from the ecosystem doesn't really affect us at all, right? I mean, in my mindset, and the floor prices and the sales we've seen shows that as well. But yeah, I mean that's kind of my thoughts on it. I think it's a little bit overblown. I definitely see the merits to it, and I see the argument, and I tend to agree with some of it. I just don't think it's as big as I don't think it's at, like the biggest issue we have in the space, right?
I mean, look, they made 60 million from the initial sale, right? That's 60 million, whatever, that's theirs. They still did over 213 million in secondary volume. And so a person who minted for 2.5, if they were new vets, whatever, if they minted for 2.5 and they sold it for 10, 20, and if they entered into the raffle, they minted, that means they're into NFTs, right? They want to participate. Now they have an extra 8, 10 ETH to whatever, 15 ETH to go and do stuff with. And that introduces money back in as well, because what we're seeing is that for Moonbirds, this is like a lot of outside money, right? This wasn't money that was just sitting here in NFTs. And then Toasty, yeah, some people were selling Mutant for Moonbirds. I saw people trying to trade like 1 M2 for 3 Moonbirds, Mutant for 2 Moonbirds.
Mm-hmm. I'm assuming they're doing Mutant plus ETH for unless they're trying to get a rarer one. But I mean, even with that, like when we've seen this morning, Mutants went on a run. Like they're at a new all-time high. They're almost at 29 ETH right now. So Mutants are about to hit that 30 mark. Even with 60 million sucked out, right? There's still volume there. There's still money on the side. People always have money stashed on the side. They're just not dumping it in these mid-tier projects because at the end of the day, they haven't proved anything. They haven't proved that they deserve to stay long term. And we see more. I think we see more and more consolidation in these top projects, these blue chips, quote unquote. Which I still kind of don't think there's a lot of blue chips yet. I don't think Moonbirds is even close to being a blue chip yet. It's been a project for 2 days. Let them stick around for a little bit longer than that. But yeah.
Yo, shout out Mexican for the sub to NFA. I appreciate you, my boy.
Appreciate that sub.
We go way back, man. We used to play a lot of games together.
Nice.
This guy's the GOAT at. We should have a Mario Kart tournament, but we're gonna have to be careful with this guy because he's goated, low key.
Okay,
Actually,
so if we do, we're not gonna have any prizes. It's just gonna be free. No money. Yeah, we don't want someone like coming in and just cleaning a house like your sister did with the Masters pool.
Yeah, no, we will have to do a gaming tournament. We did the golf tournament. We'll have to do a gaming tournament, figure out the prizes. No promises, but yeah, this guy, you can't get him off the sticks. I appreciate the sub though. I don't know if this is breaking news, but this is news that I came across. Is that AMC, the movie theater, right? Their app now allows you to buy movie tickets with cryptocurrency. So Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin, Shiba.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So whoever still goes to the movies up.
Yeah, so I can spend the gas fee will be more than the movie ticket. Fun, can't wait.
Right. No, that's very true.
All right, so there's something that was released a few days ago. We haven't talked about it yet because I think this was released before our stream on Friday. But Friday we chose violence, so we talk about other things. But we had the World of Woman roadmap was released. Have you had a chance to look into this at all?
The confusing graphic. Yep.
No, it's a roadmap. Don't. It's definitely a roadmap, right?
Bro, this is.
I'd
rather you just copy Bored Apes at this point.
Yeah, use the theme park route that everyone uses now, right? I guess they're trying to be unique, which I appreciate. It just doesn't work out, It looks. I mean, Matthew A had a pretty. He tweeted about it. He was in Discord talking about it too. He was very against it because it looks cluttered. You can't tell. Like, I can't look for this and say, okay, well, what's first? I don't know. And there's not like a clear path or anything. But
you don't know where. Yeah. This is just confusing.
So we're not a fan of the layout, but have you looked into the actual details of it yet?
Plus, you have to zoom into this. If you're gonna make it,
that's why I put it in its own tab so I can do this right here for us because looking at it on Twitter, I couldn't you can't see it. So I put it in this, but I actually haven't like looked in detail, zoomed in on this too much. I don't know if you have, but I figured something we could just look at together and just get our general initial thoughts of it.
Yeah, we could get Terps on stream. Have him break it down for us.
And Terps is not going to dox himself, you know that.
No, I handed this off to my wife because she's the one that owns the World of Women, so I did not check it out yet.
All right.
No, not you, Siri.
You said sorry. Your phone heard Siri.
The metaverse expansion, though, right? Like we know something is happening with Sandbox, and we know something is happening with the other side.
Yeah, we got like avatars. I guess the movie premiere.
Do you know of any other metaverse collaborations with the WoW?
Not that I know of. All I know is Sandbox. I don't know too much else, but I'm curious with the movie premiere here, because I know that I think it's Reese Witherspoon, because she owns a WoW. I think she also has like a movie studio, and I think they're the ones that are helping like bring their IP to life in a movie. So I'm curious to see how long that's taking, and if it's gonna be well done, or if it's just kind of like a Stoner Cats type of thing, right?
Yeah, and so I get this if they just presented this as a mind map, but with this being a roadmap, you need some type of timeline. Like there needs to be time horizons attached to it, and there needs to be like it would be nice to have parallel paths because they have different subtopics here, right? Fashion, network, physical goods, merch, IRL, whatever. So we need to see those going like parallel with each other for it to be like a roadmap. But if this is just a mind map, like, hey, this is what is on the radar, this is what we at some point want to accomplish, I think this is okay.
But they did call it a roadmap. Like in their Discord, they said, hey, we're releasing our roadmap, and this is what they released. And it's there's not like, hey, Q1 or Q3 of 2022, this is what we're going to try to do. Q4, this is what we're going to try to do. 2023 Q1, this is our goal. Like there's no timeline. So, and I haven't looked at the content. Let's look at physical goods. Looks like they're, again, I don't know what any of this means. It's just a board game, with adult beverages, beauty, luxury, clothing.
Adult beverages, bro.
dolls.
Automobile. Yo, you heard it here first. World of Women. Model 3 coming out soon.
Automobile. Like some of the words, it's just like putting words, and they googled like hey, board game image, let's copy paste this right there. Like it's just, I know you don't want to be detailed, but it's also like this is kind of like you just kind of throw out every buzzword in the category that you can. I don't know.
We need that. We need that.
Content. License your IP.
Well,
maybe they're gonna do some kind of Jenkins thing with the license your IP. There's again, show movie is in here again. It was already up further.
Yeah, that's one of the things is in physical goods they have clothing, in merch they have obviously just the topic of merch, and then at the very top they have fashion, branded apparel drops, and then other collabs. So why? I don't know. Even as a mind map, you would think that it'd go to fashion or apparel, and then it'd break out into those 3 or 4 things, not be included in 3 separate subtopics.
Yeah, they did have a Spaces this morning, and they did announce that merch was basically like happening soon, which we haven't really seen WoW merch yet. We had the NFT Miami like shirts. I think that's pretty much been it. Like there hasn't really been a merch drop for a WoW. So I'm curious what it looks like. Maybe this is it. Maybe it's just these white shirts with that WoW logo. But like even like the IRL events, like people, there are people that don't know the dates for this, right? Like the least they could have done was like NFT NYC and put the dates, right? VCon, put the dates there. At least then there's some kind of time on here. But it looks like they do have a lot planned for this year for some IRL events. I filled out a survey they sent out yesterday or 2 days ago. Basically, it was like asking about like, hey, we're going to be hosting these WoW galas in the U.S. And then they asked questions about like where would you be interested in going to? Basically, the options were Chicago, New York City, and Miami. So it sounds like out of those options, I'm pretty sure it's probably just going to be New York City because it's probably going to be the most popular option because that's probably going to be where the most owners they have closer access to. I picked Chicago because selfishly that's one closest to me. And hey, we haven't seen a big NFT event in Chicago, and so, I like to see a little bit of variety there. So I'm curious to see what the WoW Gala actually is and what's going to be. Maybe Justin Bieber will be there because he's a holder. Let's see. The WoW Network, again, it's just kind of weird. Like for a roadmap, you put WoW Alpha. Like, it's just a buzzword to me. It doesn't really, it's not like roadmap worthy, I feel like. I feel like every Discord has an alpha channel, right? That's just kind of a given. And then, let's see, I haven't looked at this. The WoW Foundation. This looks like the more of their, whenever WoW launched, they had a lot of their, they had like this charity where like a lot of their sales or part of their proceeds were going to different charities or funds or anything. So I think this is kind of more expanding on that, which is good to see. I like seeing these big projects, give back a little bit because it's literally the least they could do, right? So hopefully most of them are doing it, but a lot don't. Do you want me to zoom in on any of these, or do you have any random thoughts from this cluster?
I saw the merge thing, and then what I was also thinking is, what's the difference between WoW Academy and WoW University? Because I enjoy learning. I enjoy broadening my knowledge on different topics. So I love when people do like Zen Academy, right? Like he's doing some teaching things.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know what the academy is versus university. Maybe it's like an age thing. Maybe academy is like for younger, for the kids.
Yeah. But I mean, overall, does your wife own a WoW? Did you buy her one? Does she have one, are you still owning them?
She has one, and then the Galaxy.
Okay.
Yeah. And she's seen the floor go up. I mean, she keeps up with the market and stuff. I asked her if she wanted to sell it one time, and I haven't asked her since. But when I asked her, she said she thought about it, or she was thinking it, and then she says, "Nah, I'm just gonna keep it just to say I have one."
Nice. Take that clout. Did she look at this roadmap at all? I'm curious, like if she had a perspective, or if it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, I sent it to her, but I don't know if she looked at it, or if she did look at it. She's probably just as confused because she didn't ask me about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to follow. It's a lot of buzzwords. I do like that there's a lot going on, so they are building, but it's a lot of chat. I'm curious to see what you guys think of this. Were you a fan of this type of roadmap? Do you like this style, or do you prefer more of the the more to the point timeline driven, or the stereotypical theme park one that we've seen lately now, or you follow the path? Let us know what you think. But I am, I do like WoWs. I've got several of the WoW Galaxies. I still got WoW. So I like seeing them build, and they are one of the OG women projects in this space. So I do want to see them build and succeed. But yeah, any final thoughts here, Jeremy?
Nah, but one quick shout out is if you got your women and weapons merch.
Oh,
it was kind of fire, low key. I mean, the hoodie was. The t-shirt, mid, whatever. I like it. I'm wearing it underneath here, actually. It's the I forgot what they call it. But anyways, the hoodie is so much better than pretty much all the other hoodies that I've got from NFTs, besides the latest round of the Bored Ape hoodies. Plus high quality pins. Yo, these were a banger. And then they threw in some stickers and whatnot. But I got a shirt and a hoodie. That hoodie, A tier, no doubt.
Oh, A tier hoodie.
Yep.
That's high praise from you, Jeremy.
It's soft, man. It is soft. It smells so good.
How's that Cool Man's hoodie? Because I haven't got mine in the mail yet.
It's decent. It's decent. I'm gonna give it a B tier for sure. It's probably one of the best items that I got from the drop, but it is extremely like tight. Like it's not a loose one. It's not a.
That's the opposite of what I wanted to hear. I was gonna ask if it was a looser fit because I'm a bigger guy. I like my loose fits. I want to be cozy.
This is definitely a loose fit. Like look at that sleeve opening.
Oh
right
yeah,
here, right?
That's
like,
nice.
That is comfy. This one, like look, I feel I feel like I'm wearing Under Armour or something. And this is a large, and there's no shot like I fill out a large for sure.
Yeah, you can't make a half cart shot with that hoodie.
No, this is definitely restrictive. So I hope y'all got like an XL or an XXL if y'all trying to be comfy.
Cool. All right, so the last thing, we kind of talked about it a little bit earlier, but just kind of like news, I guess, is we've seen, this morning we've had a run on mutants. They're at a new all-time, you can kind of see the chart here, they're at a new all-time high for floor price, so they're basically almost at 29 ETH. So they have been moving, which kind of has me thinking, I feel like we get an Otherside announcement this week, right? Like this kind, maybe some people already know something that we don't, and they're making moves. Maybe mutants are getting, more than people expected, and that's why maybe they're moving. But I mean, I feel like this week we feel an announcement. I feel an announcement coming. What about you?
We're moving.
We're moving.
No, I mean, I think we've. Again, not like where Genius is, it just made sense. Like we get an announcement on 420 because Keck, or 423 because of the 1 year anniversary. 423 would be Saturday.
Wait, is 423 their 1 year anniversary?
I think so, or something.
I thought
about that.
I thought it was 429.
Something about that was a significant event. I think maybe one was like a pre-sale launch, maybe one was a sellout.
Okay. What's funny is 423 is my wedding anniversary.
Oh.
And 429 I think is when they started minting. That's my actual birthday. So, we're gonna hit up both of those. Of those.
Either way, I do expect like an announcement late this week or this weekend. But I personally don't expect the sale just because I don't think it's enough time for everybody that KYC would need to be involved. Blah blah blah. I don't think it's enough time. So
I think I would disagree. I think I'm gonna disagree with you on that one because I feel like everything we've seen from them in the past, it's always been like, F it, sale tomorrow.
There hasn't been any
tomorrow.
Nothing was regulated though.
Yeah, that's that is the difference. Yeah.
But you can still be right. I mean, they could do it like that and piss off a lot of people. But yeah, I mean, that's the difference that I would see. That's why I'm kind of saying like they're gonna give more time. But you could still be right for sure. I
think if time is gonna be like 24 or 48 hours. I don't think it's gonna be like, hey, this, a week from today. I think it's gonna be a shorter time frame that they give a heads up. It's not gonna be like an instant like, hey, we're live now. But I think it is like a day or 2 days in advance thing.
Did you load up on any more ape token just in case? Because we don't have, before we get into that, one of the things that could happen this weekend is maybe the ape owners get their land drops, right?
That's true.
Or the claim or an airdrop, and then 1 week later, then the public sale. So we have no idea. But now that's said, have you loaded up on ape?
I haven't sold any of my ape. Actually, I put mine in the liquidity pool early on. I pulled out some, so I have a little bit more than I had starting off with. So I'm good on ape. If I need more ape than I do, then I think I'm good with the amount of ape I have right now. So I haven't loaded up on any extra yet, and I haven't really thought about it because I think I'm just comfortable on this amount that I have now.
I mean, Diggling thinks that he doesn't have enough, so.
Well, Dingling and I are built a little bit different,
No, but I picked up a little bit this weekend, kind of.
Okay.
Just getting prepped a little bit, just because also like I want to do it on multiple wallets as well because I don't know the limits. So in terms of how many we can get per wallet.
That's
right?
true.
So if we KYC'd whatever, maybe it's only 1 or 2. Even as Bored Ape owners, right? Like, hey, we get our 1 for claim per ape, and then maybe we're limited to X amount. So I don't know what's happening.
If you are limited, let's say it's 1 per wallet, are you gonna be looking at secondary to buy more?
I'm just gonna be looking at making multiple wallets. No, but we have to KYC ahead of time, so I think I only have 3 KYC accounts.
Oh, I'm at like 7 or 8. I use my dogs and my fish. My fish name is Mtoli, so Mtoli, I took your KYC for my fish, so appreciate that.
No, for sure. I mean, I'm looking forward to it though because I just want to be in the know now, like for Otherside. I just want to know what it is, man. Like, when is it gonna be ready?
I kept seeing like I don't know if I'm pretty sure it was a popular thought, but people kept saying like, hey, if Moonbirds are doing this, can you imagine what the Codas are going to be doing whenever they release to the Otherside land? It may be a similar path. Like they may be up there with mutants, right? Like in that 15, 20, 25 ETH range right away.
Yeah, I mean, I
guess
get
it. It depends on what we still know nothing about those. Like, what are they for? What do they do? What's special about them? So I think once we know more, we'll be able to speculate a little bit better.
I get it, but I just don't think it's completely valid.
Right.
I love the point, though. I love the discussion topic. But the Bored Ape ecosystem is so expanded. You got to spread that ETH across all of that.
Yeah.
But, of course, like the lower barrier entries, they're going to have the more turnover because, more people can afford those. So,
right.
yeah, it will be interesting. I'm not saying I'm calling it, but I don't think Codas do what Moonbirds did. And I could absolutely be wrong. That's just what I'm thinking right now with the information that we have.
Are we dumping, Jeremy?
I mean, it's Monday. People are working. They don't have time to buy.
Hey, volume slowed down, and here comes the undercuts. So
hedge fund managers, they got to work too.
Yeah, it means all the VC money is dried up now. All right. Well, I think that's all like our topics we had to cover today. You have any final thoughts, any news, any notes you wanted to shout out?
Louis Vuitton. I don't know if anybody's played that beta or whatnot, but I think Louis Vuitton is continuing to go with their NFT game, and I think it's not necessarily POAPs, but if you collect like these little free NFTs that they have, you'll earn. I don't know, something that they're going to come out with a little bit in the future regarding NFTs. So just a little shout out there. Shout out to the Crocs. And disclosure, I still have 4 Crocs. I minted like 16 or something like that, 14. I still have 4 of them. But Crocs, that paper is expected to go live this week, I'm pretty sure, the staking for paper. Those are about a 1 ETH floor as of yesterday. Remember, these are some that we kind of called out, or like I posted in the Discord at 0.08 mint. They're now like an ETH floor. So GG's if you minted those and still hold them. But the paper is coming out. The BFF, the bracelets, you're going to be able to mint your UPFP on Thursday. And related to proof, a lot of proof projects, like auxiliary ones, are kind of pumping. And I just want to say be careful there. But one to kind of like keep your eye on is maybe the quantum key. It's pretty pumped. So I wouldn't say buy it at this price, but they are around 5 ETH right now. These are also ones that we called out on stream that you could mint for, I think 1 ETH. I think it was 1 or 1.5. But they're not 5 ETH. If you're into art and photography, whatever, especially if you live in LA, check out the quantum key. And then also Punk 6529. He released kind of this open world powered by On Cyber. And if you wanted to check that out and see what it is, if you wanted to read about it, I'll post 2 links in the chat right now. The second one is where you can read about it. The first one is where you can participate. And then that's about it. I mean, other than the 10K TF, which I think we talked about a little bit briefly, and it may be too late on those. But if you're not exposed, maybe you can pick up something there for 10K TF before the Otherside announcements start rolling out.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. The one thing I was gonna shout out was the X2Y2. This month we already talked about it, but again, if you're just new to tuning in, you missed it earlier. If you list on X2Y2 in the month of April, then there's no marketplace fees, and if you're a buyer on X2Y2, then you get refunded your gas. So definitely, if you're looking at selling or buying some assets, some of the floors are cheaper over there, so you can definitely take advantage of that. And then also, we're going to see a lot of, now that Moonbirds is so successful, we're going to see a lot of people trying to make other projects successful because of it. And one I've seen lately has been Mooncats. As I saw this morning, I forgot, is that Leonidas guy? He's the one that pumped and dumped those crypto skulls. He's a quote NFT archaeologist. Just don't fall for these. I mean, this is just people trying to, basically, if you're hearing about it, they've already bought their bag in it. They're trying to pump it up now. So just tune it out. It's just people trying to pump up projects just for their own being before they dump them and try to make a quick buck. Nothing's Moonbirds, but nothing like as Moonbirds. Just because Moonbirds pumped up doesn't mean that something named Mooncats that's similar because it has a moon in it doesn't mean it's gonna go crazy as well.
Mooncat's already a thing, sir. No, I'm just kidding. I know you're just talking about historical. We're actually wait. No, I can't say it. One other thing too is if speaking of X2Y2, you guys may be familiar with Looks Rare from way back then. Maybe you staked your looks, maybe you sold your looks, whatever. But if you haven't kept up with it because OpenSea is so popular, Looks came out with an auto compounder. So that way, when you earn your WETH or WETH, whatever you want to call it, from your Looks rewards, instead of having to claim that and then doing something with it, you can actually have it auto buy looks with your WETH rewards and then stake it. So it's an auto looks compounder. So if you didn't know about that, go ahead and check out looksrare.org if you still have it. That's the option that I chose to do. I think there are like pros and cons to it, but that's the one where I can just set it, forget it. Like I don't need to know what's going on over there. Yeah. And then oh yeah, the other link I just posted in the chat was that the Artifact Monolith NFT, they are starting their final quest. So I don't know when that's expected to reveal or not, but we're getting pretty close.
Cool. Yeah, I don't have any of those, but that's yeah, Toy says what's in the box. I guess maybe you'll find out soon.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, I think that's all we had today. It's a little shorter stream than we have been doing, which is, it's kind of nice on a Monday. Everyone can enjoy their Monday afternoon. Get your plans going. I'm trying this thing called physical exercise later today, and I'll probably send out a fudding tweet thread about it later. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, but yeah. Oh, one thing.
Tax day.
Okay. No, what's in the stream here? We don't talk about that. Let's just
looking at you. TrueCon. Tax day.
Yeah, tax day. If you haven't already done them, do them. If not, file for an extension. But that extension doesn't make your payment extend. Like you have to pay. You got to pay the man today. All right, it's got to happen. Not the T word.
Everybody, thank you for showing out. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for all the resubs today and the new subs. Appreciate y'all coming out and supporting. And then the 2-month resubs. Glad that you're sticking around. We hope that we're making the stream entertaining and useful for you guys. We still have a lot coming up, so we want to do better, and we are working on that behind the scenes. And just thank you for being here for the ride.
Yeah, we'll see everyone. Talk to you guys again on Wednesday, 1 p.m. Eastern. Until then, as usual, drink that water, stay hydrated, check that posture, grind those whitelists, and be your own alpha.
Be your own alpha. Who?
Peace. Hoot, hoot.